You've arrived at the Candlelit Archive, a place that does not appear on maps and does not exist during the day. Only when the world grows quiet and the thoughts in your mind begin to slow does it open for you. Tonight, you have been granted access to one of its quietest rooms, a story that was never meant to be rushed. So you do not need to stay awake for it. In fact, you are not expected to. Just listen as long as you can and let the rest fade on its own. There are evenings when the world continues moving long after a person has grown tired. Lists continue growing. Lights continue glowing in distant windows. Messages continue arriving. Tomorrow continues waiting somewhere ahead. And still, there comes a moment when the day has already asked enough. Not because everything is finished. It rarely is. Not because every task has been completed or every thought settled neatly into place, but because the body has carried enough hours. The mind has held enough noise. The heart has moved through enough moments for one day. And somewhere deep beneath all the unfinished things is a quieter truth. You have already done enough for today. Tonight's story is not about accomplishing more. It is not about fixing or planning or preparing. It is only about arriving at the soft edge of evening and allowing the weight of the day to loosen slowly, like shoes left beside a door. Like a coat folded carefully over the chair. Like rain finally leaving the sky. Late at night, in a house nearly asleep, one lamp still glows. Not a bright lamp, only a small one with a linen shade softening the light into amber. The rest of the house is dark now. Hallways quiet. Doors closed. Floorboards settled into stillness. Outside the windows, the world has become blue-black and silver. Trees move gently in the night wind. Clouds drift over hidden stars. Far away, a train passes slowly through darkness, its sound fading almost before it arrives. The lamp waits in a small sitting room. A quiet room. The kind of room where nothing dramatic has ever happened. Only ordinary evenings. Reading chairs. Cooling tea. Rain against windows. Blankets folded over armrests. The peaceful repetition of being safely indoors while night gathers outside. There is a fire in the hearth, though it has burned low now. Mostly glowing embers remain. Small rivers of orange-red light moving beneath dark wood. The room smells faintly of cedar, tea leaves, and old paper. On the table beside the lamp rests a notebook. Its pages are filled with unfinished lists. Things to remember tomorrow. Things that almost got done today. Things that seemed important at noon, but softer now at night. A single page remains blank at the end, and across that blank page, written slowly in careful handwriting, is one sentence. You've already done enough for today. The sentence changes the room somehow. Not magically, only quietly. The shoulders lower a little. Breathing deepens slightly. The pressure to continue loosens its grip. The lamp glows warmly. The fire settles lower, and the night begins very gently to take over the work of carrying everything else. Beyond the sitting room is another room rarely noticed during the day. A small room with tall curtains and walls painted the color of evening fog. There are no clocks here, no shelves, no mirrors, only softness. A deep chair sits near the window. A blanket rests across it as though someone carefully placed it there. Placed it there long ago for this exact hour. The blanket is heavy in the comforting way, not suffocating, only grounding, like being gently reminded that the body belongs to the earth and does not need to remain alert forever. The room carries a strange rule. Nothing more is required here. Not productivity, not clarity, not improvement. The room asks for none of that. If a thought enters saying there is more to do, the room simply grows quieter around it until the thought becomes small enough to drift away on its own. If another thought insists something should have gone differently today, the curtains stir softly and the thought loses its sharpness. Not erased, only softened. Outside the window, rain has begun lightly. Thin silver rain, barely more than mist. It travels slowly down the glass in wandering lines. Watching it requires no effort at all. The eyes may follow the rain or not. Either way is fine. On a nearby table rests a bowl of smooth stones. Each stone carries a single word. Enough. Rest. Later. Tomorrow. Free. Softly. The stones are cool to the touch. Steady. Ancient feeling, as though countless tired evenings have passed through this room before, as though generations of weary minds have sat quietly here, learning the difficult kindness of stopping. The rain deepens slightly outside. The lamplight glows lower, and inside this quiet room, the idea of continuing to push begins slowly dissolving into the dark. Farther inside the house is a long hallway. The carpet beneath the feet is midnight blue. The walls are lined with small framed pictures, too dim to fully make out. Each picture seems to hold an ordinary, forgotten moment. Steam rising from tea. A porch during snowfall. A lamp left on beside an empty chair. Clouds drifting over rooftops at dusk. Halfway down the hallway stands a tall wooden cabinet. Inside are folded hours, entire hours carefully tucked away like blankets placed gently into storage. hours from old evenings, hours no longer needed, hours released at last. One folded hour smells like rain and books. Another smells faintly of cedarwood. One contains the distant sound of a train moving through snow. Another holds the feeling of falling asleep beside a fire while voices murmur softly in another room. Tonight's hours are placed there too. The busy hours, the worried hours, the distracted hours, tired hours. One by one, they are folded carefully smaller and smaller until they no longer need to be carried. Nothing is thrown away. That is important. The day is not rejected. It is only put down. Given somewhere safe to rest until morning no longer needs it. Farther along stands a narrow window. Outside lies only darkness and faint silver snowfall. Slow snowfall. Silent snowfall. The kind that changes the whole world without making any sound at all. Watching the snow, the mind begins forgetting which worries mattered so much earlier. Not because they were imaginary, only because nighttime reveals how temporary most urgency truly is. The snow keeps falling. The dark remains soft. And the hallway grows quieter still. At the end of the hallway is a back door. Beyond it waits a garden wrapped completely in night. The air outside is cool. The earth smells damp and cold. Above, clouds drift slowly apart, revealing pieces of the sky. Near the center of the garden burns a very small fire. Not large enough for gathering, only large enough to keep a little warmth alive. A single wooden chair rests beside it. And beside the chair is a sign hanging gently from a tree branch. The sign reads, "Nothing else tonight." The fire crackles softly. Tiny sparks rise upward and vanish among the stars. The garden beyond the fire fades completely into darkness. There is no path to follow, no destination, only the chair, only the wood, only the steady rhythm of the flames breathing quietly in the dark. The night sky overhead feels impossibly large, but not lonely. The stars seem distant and kind, as though they have watched countless evenings like this one, countless tired people finally sitting down, finally stopping, finally understanding that rest is not something that must be earned endlessly. The fire grows lower. Its light softens into deep orange. Air cools gently around the edges. And somewhere within the quiet garden comes the unmistakable feeling that nothing more is expected now. Not from the mind, not from the body, not from the day. The garden gate stands open behind the chair. Beyond it lies darkness so soft it almost resembles velvet. Sort of darkness that belongs only to very late hours. Hours when the world itself seems half asleep. The fire has become mostly embers now, small glowing islands of warmth settling deeper into ash. The stars overhead drift slowly behind thin clouds. Everything is becoming quieter. Simpler, slower. And somewhere far beyond, inside the quiet house, the notebook remains open to its final page. the sentence still waiting there beneath the amber lamp. You've already done enough for today. Not someday, not after one more task, not after becoming perfectly rested, organized, prepared, or certain. Already, enough already. The night receives this truth gently. The trees hold it quietly. The fading fire glows around slowly, and little by little the mind begins believing it too. Now the fire grows dim. The garden darkens. The stars blur softly overhead. And the quiet house behind the trees sleeps beneath the deep night sky. There are still unfinished things somewhere. They're always moving. Tomorrow will still exist when morning comes. The lists, questions, the small responsibilities waiting patiently ahead. But not now. Not here. Tonight is only for resting. Only for lowering the weight. Only for letting the day close softly behind you. the embers fade lower. The air cools gently. And somewhere within the great, quiet, dark, sleep begins moving closer. Slowly, carefully, like snowfall settling over empty roads. Like lantern light lowering in distant windows. Like the final thought of the night drifting softly out of reach. You have carried enough for one day. You have thought enough. You have tried enough. You have done enough. And now, very gently, you may rest. And now, the Candlelit Archive feels quiet again. The books return to stillness. The lanterns continue their gentle walk. And the story is safely put away until it is needed once more. You do not need to finish this moment awake. You do not need to hold on to anything more. Om.